If you're a civilian ally, which is to say you care about soldiers, veterans, and dependents, here's how you can make your Memorial Day culturally self-aware. What I mean by culturally self-aware is that Memorial Day is Memorial Day for a reason. If you're having a picnic or a barbecue and you're grilling hamburgers and hot dogs, that's great. But remember that it's a memorial before it's a party. We have to fast before we feast. And there's two different ways you can incorporate that reality into your celebration. The first is civic. I'll call it political. The second is spiritual or religious. Here are those two ways that you can make your Memorial Day not a horrible situation and a triggering environment for soldiers, veterans, or military dependents that you might have invited to your barbecue. The first is called, in veteran circles, a missing man or a missing woman or a missing them chair. If you go to a VFW hall, a Veterans of Foreign Service or an American Legion post, go in there and you'll see a table set for one in a place of honor, usually right by the front door or in some other centrally located attentive space. And each of the items on that table with an empty chair is ritually defined by service members, by the military community. Go there and ask what those things are. Learn about the POW or MIA chair, also known as the missing man or missing woman chair, and use that paradigm at your barbecue. Set a place for someone that is reserved for the people who have died in service. By imitating military community rituals, you are actually honoring the fact that we have a Memorial Day. And I'm trusting you know the difference between Memorial Day, which is for people who have died in service, and Veterans Day, which is for people who have lived to tell the tale of their service. The second option, or the second way that you can have a culturally self-aware Memorial Day, if you're a rank and file believer, if you believe in some version of spirituality, for me that's been Christianity. But this also applies if you are someone who believes or adheres to the Jewish faith, and that is an Elijah chair. An Elijah chair is an empty seat that's reserved for the prophet Elijah at a brie, a Jewish circumcision ceremony. And in a brie, it's my understanding that Elijah is a crucial participant in the brie, even though he won't appear, or maybe he will. It's about the hope that he will. It's also been picked up, it's also celebrated or used ritually at the Passover Seder, the Elijah cup, and sometimes the Elijah chair that goes with it. And so the Elijah chair, which is also sometimes used in weekly Seders for some observant families, represents the hope of resurrection, the hope of the coming Messiah. And there's an important parallel between the religious ritual and the civic ritual of remembering the missing people, giving them space to participate in your Memorial Day, in your remembrance, what have you. So if you're a civilian ally, you can set one up yourself, serve it food because people eat, and then clear that place last to ensure that the person that you're remembering has an opportunity to participate in the full extent of these life-giving activities that we call picnics, barbecues, or grilling. So there you go. You have two options to participate in a culturally self-aware Memorial Day that will not trigger military families, soldiers, veterans, dependents, and also potentially, if you like, represent your faith in the coming of redemption and hope, or the appearance, if you're a Christian, of that coming hope in the person of Christ. You can read more. You can go to my regular website for civilians at loganmi.com. And here you go. Here's the URL if you want to go directly to it without a paywall. Thanks for listening, and I hope everybody has as fulfilling and redemptive and satisfying a Memorial Day as humanly possible.